let's talk about the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation and just talk about what it is.
The mission of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can be broken down into two goals. The first one is for research to find cures for the disease. But then also we want everybody to live their best lives today also. And so we have a lot of support groups or support programs that we fund also. People with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, it's also known as inflammatory bowel disease or IBD. And there are over 3 million Americans that have the disease, but it is a silent disease. No one wants to talk about it. They don't want to say how many times they've gone to the bathroom in the day or what their stomach problems are, anything like that. But it is just an autoimmune disease of the gastrointestinal tract.
I'm sure it can be embarrassing for somebody that kind of has to deal with that, to talk about it, like you said, but you guys offer a bunch of programs to support those, right?
We do, absolutely. We have, there's IBD Learning on our website, so there's a bunch of webinars that are led by experts, and they will talk about anything from, new medicines that are out there, diets, it's just everything you can think of that a patient might be interested in learning.
And you also have camps for kiddos, right? Can you talk about that?
That's our Camp Oasis program. You think about going to camp, and if you're a child and you have an ostomy bag, a bag that you have to go to the bathroom in, or if you have a bunch of medicine you have to take, or you have to take shots, or whatever it might be, you don't want to go to a regular camp. You don't want to stand out. No kids want to stand out. So if you go to Camp Oasis, everybody there has IBD. And like I said, we have all professional, healthcare there 24/7 for those kids. So it's a safe, medically safe environment for the kids to be in also.
So Sean, how did you get involved with Crohn's and Colitis?
Well, I've had the opportunity to be involved with other boards locally, and obviously being a Crohn's patient myself for the last coming up on 30 years, this obviously is much closer to me and my family. So the last time I had a medical procedure done, I decided no more energy and effort into other events and other causes. This was it, and so I reached out to the board and was able to join at that point.
When you first got diagnosed, how was that for you?
Yeah, so I was playing very competitive soccer, and I did not present with gut issues at first. I presented with swollen joints and massive pain in my large muscles. And so for about a year and a half, they tested me for everything except Crohn's, which weirdly enough, that's one of the bigger sort of symptoms today.
I had no idea.
Neither did we, nor did the doctors at the time. When they finally did find the diagnosis, and they did a very invasive test to do that, it was relief at first, but then also a huge amount of fear, and because I've seen my grandfather and my mother, be in bed for weeks at a time because they weren't able to do anything, and I was a pretty active kid.
Yeah.
But I muscled through and figured it out, and here we are.
So now let's talk about, you've got this inaugural event coming up, and we've kind of talked about it as like a little mix and mingle. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we have a program, it's called Gut Friendly Recipes. We realized that most IBD patients, the most important thing that they ask when they are first diagnosed, or even after when they're having a flare, what am I supposed to be eating? What do I eat every day? And so a few years ago, we came up with Gut Friendly Recipes. It's on our website. There's over 500 recipes on there. They've been tested by dietitians, medical experts, chefs, everybody, to be the most gut-friendly recipes. So we have someone here locally in Northwest Arkansas, it's Chef Erin, and she is an IBD patient. And she was an honored hero a few years ago in an event we had, and we got to talking and decided, she's a chef here at Brightwater, and we started talking. We thought, well, how can we, put the gut-friendly recipes idea together and just teach the general public in a fun, interactive way about gut health.
Okay, so Chef, how did you get involved with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation?
I moved here from St. Louis, and I knew that there was a Crohn's and Colitis Foundation up there. So when I moved down here, I think it was by happenstance that I met with Amy, and was interested in getting involved. Thought it would be kind of in a small role, whatever I could do, I'd be happy to help. And then since then, it's just been a neat, we've just kept that relationship going, and it's been really rewarding to be able to do what I can to help in any way.
Now, walk me through what the event is going to look like. It's May 3rd, correct?
It is. The night will start off at 5 o'clock for the VIP guests, and that will be in the greenhouse. Then later it's followed at 6 p.m. The main event opens. There's 4 different experiences you can have in here, but each attendee will experience 2 of those.
So if folks want to just learn more, or if they want to somehow get involved or donate, where's the best place for them to go?
To our website. It's the Crohn's Colitis Foundation.org. You can find out all of our events all across the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, our website's amazing.